Chris, what's the most memorable fishing story that you've ever had?
I think we all need to take part in this story.
Have you ever had one of those days where literally your fishing day went from the absolute worst day to the absolute best day in a matter of minutes? Well, recently we just had that experience with Captain Chris Long with Jolly Mon Charters. And in this video, we're going to tell you the whole story from start to finish. We got most of it on with footage, but honestly, this is by far the craziest fishing story I have ever experienced. If you want to see more videos from Anglers Unlimited, make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or follow us on YouTube.
So, floating out here for several hours for halibut. We got 3 rods in with the bait on the floor, and we're starting to relax, and all of a sudden, one rod just goes off and literally gets ripped off the side of the boat and into the ocean, and we thought it was gone forever.
And of course, it was my rod, which I did not own, which really wasn't fun.
So we were dwelling on that a little bit, re-rodding that side and getting bait back in. Another rod started going off probably 5 minutes later. So we start reeling that rod in, seeing what's on that rod, and it was tangled with the other line on this side.
Why do you use different color line?
So we have different color line on our halibut rods, on our lingcod rods, and also on our salmon rods. So all of these fisheries, halibut, lingcod, and salmon, they're not line shy, so it doesn't matter. So the only reason we use different color line is to help with the tangle. If the lines get tangled up, you know which line to cut, which line not to cut. Reel it a little more and we see another color of line, which happens to be the color of line that was on the rod that went over the side.
This color, right here.
Blue, right there.
Blue.
So we keep reeling it in, and it's a tangled mess. So
Oh, I'm gonna be so happy if that comes back.
Yep.
Holy, literally ruined my day, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, there's a fish. Is there? Yeah. Yeah, I just felt a fish. I don't know how we're doing.
Probably gonna be a stupid dogfish.
I'll just keep bringing it up. Oh, I don't know.
We need to get this untangled. Okay, you got blue, I'll take yellow.
we're handing over fish, and there's still some kind of fish on there, so we're separating lines, and we're down to just the line that has the fish on it. So I'm hand over fisting 60-pound braid line with my hands, and they're getting the other lines out of the water, and it's a halibut. It was the halibut that ripped the rod off the boat, got tangled in the other rods. We reeled that up, got the rod and reel back, and hand fisted that halibut over the side of the boat.
Oh my god, it was insane!
Holy. Now, I have to say, I believe I get credit for catching.
So we had a little bit of debate over who actually caught the fish, because technically the fish took my bait, technically Scott hooked my rod, technically Chris handlined the fish into the boat. So we're gonna call it a fish that we all caught, and we took pictures accordingly. The biggest lesson in all of this here is use different colored line on your rods. Definitely.
And that's my favorite weirdest fish story.